responding to you. Yeah, but it sounds like you kind of wanted something. Then before you know it, peak.
Do you think it's got worse that we're rolling? Do you think it's got worse like that because of social media?
Yeah, social media is dangerous, man. Social media is dangerous, and especially when you start to build a persona for yourself. I'm not going to say I'm a public persona, like I'm nationally known. I'm known by people nationally. Some people, yeah, I'm known by some people nationally, but I'm not nationally known.
Yeah.
But when you are a public profile, it's like there's more intrigue into your business.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is he? Like, how bad is he? He must have something bad about him. He must have some history. He must have skeletons. Or what's he doing? Like, who's he with? Who's his side? Who's his main? Like, all these types of questions that are literally swirling around people's minds, and it makes you paranoid. It makes you be very careful about how you respond to people, how you approach people. I've always been like that anyway, because it's like, I get on well with females in general. And so I have like good relationships with females, but you still have to be very careful. Like, I'm very careful about how I phrase my sentences and stuff like that, just so it doesn't, yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, social media's made a lot of things different. It's made a lot of things different, man. It's like, social media has become people's lives, and therefore lives are being lived out on social media when it shouldn't be. Social media should be a tool of maybe escaping the stresses of real life and just going on there to see some funny stuff and maybe see what other, you know.
I think that's how it started. We'll go back into social media, but let's start with you. What's this? What have you been doing for the last 10 years?
So this, to me, is my journey of being a creative individual. Someone who initially wanted to be an actor before studying, and then realizing maybe I'm going to go more down a journalistic route, to then realizing maybe journalism is not as dynamic as I thought it was going to be, and then, but I like music, so let me be a music journalist, and then kind of being thrown in front of a camera to be a presenter, which I did not want to do. But somebody threw me in front of camera after we had like a bit of an argument about me not going in front of camera, and then it kind of worked, which led to me going on stages and hosting, which is really what gives you your confidence as a host or a presenter. If you can do live events in front of live audiences, you can do anything. That's the training right there. It's like theatre. If you can do theatre, you can act.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So during that time as well, I was performing as a poet. So I was actually on a very steady. God knows where I would have been actually, you know, if I carried on with that. Because if presenting never came, I would have never neglected my poetic passions. So God knows where I would have been, because I think I had the minerals, like, to take it. And I think what was quite unique about me as well is that I started to get a lot of bookings at comedy shows. So I did comedy shows up and down, like other cities, as a poet, because I managed to kind of like incorporate my personality into my poetry. So I had like some poems that were comedic, and like also being at a comedy show and the host telling you, okay, next coming to the stage as a poet, it's stress, it's pressure, because they're coming to laugh. But I had it, and I used to smash down shows. I had a poem about my height. It was something like they think I'm short, but I think tall. They think what is it? They think something like it was something like what was it? It was like they think I'm devilish, but I'm blessed like the heavens. Or maybe it's because I only wear a small size 7. So but then it goes, but don't worry about the foot size rumors and whatnot, because I got a big black long, and then I pull out this pair of socks. it was mad. I pull it out of there as well. Like, and so, you know what I mean? It's like just playing about with the poetry. And then there was another one as well that was if this were my world, there would have been no combined condemn government unveiled. If this world were mine and reflected my mind, there'll be confusion of a next kind. Searching for myself, I sometimes see myself as the only existing, forgetting my intelligence and instead opting for barbaric fisting. I am unpredictable. But if this world were mine, there will be there'll be morals that will be stuck to by all. So fathers will be there for their kids. There'll be equal economics. There'll be squashing of racial politics. And for every one man, there'll be 10 chicks. Yes, I do love the female bits. But if this world were mine, if this world were mine, but as you can see, my world would be a nice place. But what would my world be without a fun escape?
Yeah.
So if this were my world, so in my world, man, they would never have to wear shoes to rave. Nando's would be free on Tuesdays. United would have 11 Wayne Rooney's, all right. And, you know what I mean? And like, it used to go on like that, and just like playing about with like poetic rhythms and like poetic techniques, and I had fun with it, man. But then, like I said, I won the SBTV competition.
What competition was that?
So I was hosting live events, and an Irish lady called Nicola, big up Nicola, she's in Ireland now, she moved back. She did an application form for me for SBTV. They were looking for a male presenter, and that was part of the show on Channel 4, which was called Inside SBTV, from the bedroom to the boardroom. Okay. I didn't know all this. I just knew that it was when I found out, I just thought it was a competition for a presenter. Yeah. I've gone there now. Big camera crews watching my steps and going up the stairs. Like, I come in there to do my audition. It's like boom, boom, camera crews. I'm like, yo, I thought I was just coming to a normal audition. But when I walked to that audition, I said to myself, I remember when I got it, I remember saying to myself, yo, today could change your life, you know? Let's just do you. Like, do you. And if you is good enough, it works. You can do that for the rest of the time. And it was weird because I remember on my way walking there as well, I seen an Australian guy that I used to work with in the office that I worked in. I worked at a company where I was working on an account with the Ministry of Defence. I used to move soldiers from like France to Germany, Italy to France. Yeah, it was at a company called Pickfords. I was like an international move coordinator. And I see one of the guys who's like one of the sales team, and he's like, "Where are you going, mate?" And I was like, "I'm going to an audition." He's like, "An audition?" I was like, "Yeah, an audition." Even I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, good luck, mate." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yo, that's weird." Like, a guy that I used to work with has just bumped me on the way to walk into this audition. It's weird how the universe works. Yeah. But I was like, maybe it's a sign. Like, that's the past, and now you're going towards the future. You know what I mean? And so I went to the audition. I was the first person to be auditioned on the whole day. Yeah. And I ended up winning the whole entire competition.
How many people were there?
I think overall I beat like over 100 people.
Out of 100
yeah,
people,
not to mention how many more who actually applied as well. Yeah. So what's quite interesting is that some of the people that also applied actually became some of my friends in years later. People like Ruben. What's Ruben's surname again? You might know Ruben. He's online doing a lot of stuff. Ruben Christian. Okay. Lewis Bloor, who went on to Towie. Chris as well, who's a journalist. Jamie Howard, who was a comedian. Jamie from Sun, used to do a lot of Sunday. Yeah. Sean Sagar, who's an actor in the BBC One drama. Yeah. Like, good stock was chosen from, man, and like this little brother here from the ends, like, managed to win it. But you know how I won it? I forgot. I just remember something. I won it with a poem, bro. Poetry has been a secret tool. Right. No, I don't remember the poem at all. I don't remember the poem, but what it was is that they couldn't choose they got to the 5. They managed to whittle down the last 5 to the last 3. They couldn't choose. So they're like, look, you got to make something, tell us in 60 seconds why you should win. And I was like, poem. It's got to be a poem. You get me? It's got to be a poem.
So, by the way, when I turn my phone, it's because I'm writing notes as you're talking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you consider yourself special?
No. I don't consider myself special, but I do realise that
different. Not to be arrogant, although you can be if you want to. But would you consider? I mean, you made it out of a competition of 100 people for SBTV. You won. Would you consider yourself special? Gifted, talented.
I think I had a gift with words. I was able to put words together in a way that could be entertaining, but also thought-provoking. But I think more than anything, do you know what it is? It's like there's an extreme level of determination in me. It's undeniable. Like, I'll go harder. I'll like push harder. I'll go longer. I'll go without sleep. I'm willing to do that. Some people can't do it, and I realized that on my journey. It's like I might tell, like, look, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, but you gotta be up at this time, and we're gonna.
And that's what really sets people apart, though. Yeah. I'm trying to tell people, having the ability, means, and talent is cool, but it's the determination and drive that really pushes you.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, like, I'll give you an example. I was just thinking about it the other day because we were talking about it. I do a show on Sky One. I was filming for... What show was I filming for? I was filming for the show that's supposed to come out last night in Hull.
Okay.
And then it was Halloween, actually. So it was around this time, this sort of time last year. And I'm filming in Hull all day. I've got a train back from Hull back to London because I wanted to come back anyway. And also because I was to go to a film screening of Scream that was done by Sandy, who has got a company. They do like a lot of stuff with films and stuff. Sandy Sheems.
Okay.
And so I've gone from Hull, filming all day, come back down, and I've gone to this film at maybe it's finished at about 1 a.m, but I've got to be at Sky at 3, 4 a.m to go to Manchester to go and do a shoot to film something. But I'm filming the men's health and fitness survival of the fittest competition that I'm going to be participating in. So I filmed all day in Hull.
And then you're going to Sky to film.
I've come to the film screening. I've got back home about 2 a.m. I've got to be at Sky for 3, 4 a.m. I've got 2 hours yet, and then I'm going straight to Manchester to take part in the most difficult fitness survival competition in this country. Jumping over things, jumping into water, climbing back out, running going up Manchester City Stadium, and then running back down Manchester City Stadium. And I've done that. I can't lie, I did struggle. But it's that level of determination. To the fact that I would even dare to pack my schedule like that. It's not healthy, let alone logical. It's not healthy, but that is, I'll do it. When I was in my earlier days, I don't do it so much now because I try to get some sleep nowadays. But in my earlier days, I had this thing called NSG. I would just tweet hashtag NSG. NSG was no sleep gang. All the no sleepers would come and yeah, we're up.
I got the bag.
Yeah, we're up. We have little interactions. Because, bro, I wasn't sleeping. So, am I special? I don't think I'm special. Am I different? I think I'm different in the sense where I noticed that I had maybe a bigger passion than some people naturally had. Even in football, it didn't benefit me well in football because, blood, I'll take you out, fam. I don't care. You know what I mean? Bro, got to win or I got to stop an attack. You know what I mean? It's I don't care. Man don't like the way that I play. Even up to now, sometimes I might just done a man over. I can't help it. It's still in me. It's I just
got to get to the ball first.
Passion. And so one thing that set me apart is not because I'm special. And I truly believe this. Even people that you see that's doing big things. I always say, do you know what? The reason why I was able to interview some of the biggest celebrities in the world is because I realized that they're a human being just like I am. But what I realized is that they were placed in front of opportunity. And they had what it takes to capitalize on opportunity. Because there are people who we know who are equally as talented, if not more talented, but unfortunately maybe opportunity didn't arise or they didn't capitalize on opportunity that was there. The people that have done really well is because they've capitalized on the opportunity and they've maximized it as well. I don't think any of us are special. Some people have special talents. Some people can do things that are crazy, you know what I mean? Freestylers with the ball.
But even so, it's special talent or just something that was nurtured.
Yeah, because most things are nurtured. Do you know what I mean? Even people say to me oh, you're such a good presenter. To be honest, when I won that competition, from that day I was okay, Roach, it's time to learn.
Because I think sometimes as well, people don't realise, even though you may have started presenting on a certain day, that doesn't necessarily mean the skills needed started that day. It's been a lifelong lesson almost, isn't it?
Yeah, I always say that I started acting after I stopped acting up. Do you know what I mean? When I started acting, I was I was acting up for years, but now I actually put it into I guess a professional context. And when I think about presenting, I was writing as a journalist. I was the first black male section editor at my university newspaper.
What uni did you go?
I went to University of Birmingham, which is a red brick university. When I went there, it was a top 20 university in the country. Intense. Culture shock when I went there.
Culture shock, why?
Blood, I went there I went to a lecture in a tracksuit. And I remember walking up the stairs to get to a seat, and I remember there's bare eyes on me because I was rare. I actually stand out here. Because
you was in a tracksuit?
Yeah, bro, because I'm tracksuit, black youth, still very much urban, bro. As much as people might see me now and think, oh, but he speaks so well. Fam, man's from the hood.
Were there many black people in your uni in general, or was it just in your journalism class?
We had an ACS, but what I noticed is a lot of the black people that were at my university, God bless all of them, yeah, great people. They had come from more kind of private school backgrounds or grammar school, or maybe scholarship in certain types of schools. So even if they were from similar types of areas, their experience for the last 5-6 years is completely different. I did have one friend, big up Tristan, who was from South London. He's from Elephant and Castle, very much like me. He managed to get into the university based on merit, but it came from a very hood background, like very, very hood, in fact. And so he was like my solace, because it's someone that I could chill with and be with that understands me and what I'm from. And to be honest, when I think about it now, I'm getting kind of emotional. It's mad. When I think about it now, if I never had him, bro, I don't even know what would I have done, because it was me and him, bro. Like me and him. Like I associate with everybody else, but he was the main. You know what I mean? Like the one that. It's mad. See, God is great, bro. He puts maybe certain people in our lives and certain things before us, like that are supposed to be there to help us get along. Because actually, I was going to leave university.
So wait, did you finish university completely?
Yeah, I got a first class honours degree, bro. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I was going to leave because of the culture shock and because my course.
You were going to leave because of the culture shock?
Yes, bro. Yes. I was going back to the roads. I remember saying to him, I'm just going to go to the roads. Like maybe just do something, yeah. Maybe even try and pick up my acting again, because I was acting before that.
Why? We'll get onto the other stuff, but
the culture shock, but also the course. Like I had never struggled academically in my life, but the course that I did, because it was a journalism course at first. I was doing electronic, computer and electronic, electrical, and computer engineering. I was in a course called multimedia computer systems. I felt like I knew about what it was like to be in front of a camera. So I was like, let me try and learn what's behind, like visualization and stuff like that. But this course wasn't that. I was doing like scientific principles. I was doing discrete mathematics, like atomic propositions and logic, which was like where you turn maths into like into statements. You might know it, but it was crazy. And I was doing computer programming, which I've never been good at. Like I was doing straight into C++ and C++ and C+ and JavaScript, and it's like, yo, the only thing that I was good at, the only module that I did really, really well in was human performance, which was basically about designing interfaces and designing computer systems tailored to a human experience. The only thing that had a bit of human interaction.
What year was this?
It's like 10 years ago or something, bro.
You was doing this 10 years ago?
Yeah, like 10.
It sounds like something that could be happening today.
Yeah, but it was. But like it was advanced, didn't it? And it's like, but I never knew. I thought I was going to be going there and doing visualization, doing like understanding about, you know, like I guess maybe creating like through computers. No, I was doing in-depth like scientific principles, discrete, like universe. I didn't even do maths A level, and I was doing maths degree level. Yeah. It was crazy, so it was too much. Yeah. And I was like, and I'll tell you why I was going to leave. I tried to contact the university and explain to them, do you know what, I don't think this course is for me. Like, if it was possible, could I please, like, maybe move over to a course that's more for me, like, maybe, like, I was going to do English and drama. Yeah. They were like, what makes you think over all the other participants that are, all the other applicants who apply to get onto the course that you should be allowed and I was like,
The university said that.
Bro, yes, the course leader, whatever it was, and I was just truthfully, genuinely trying to find a course that more suited me.
Had you had any conversations with him prior to that?
No, bro, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm gonna tell you another situation as well, which also kind of added to this, and I was like, wow. But then I came to realize maybe years or months later that apparently a lot of people go to a university on one course and try to change over to a course that maybe they would have been able to get into. But the course that I got into was a flipping hard course to get into anyway, so I wasn't trying to do that. So I was like, forget it. But then he was like, why don't you try another course? Like, we don't just give up kind of thing. And I was like, that's a good point. That's a good point still. And that's when I found media, culture and society.
So that's where you ended up?
I did media, culture and society, which was it was more a sociological degree, to be honest. But it also allowed me to look at the media's impact, the impact of media, how media is written, writing against the grain, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But before that...
So wait, sorry. There's an actual course on how the media is written.
Oh yeah, bro. And how it affects society.
We'll get into that.
It's called Media, Culture and Society. Okay. How media affects culture, how it affects society, and how they all interrelate and affect each other.
We'll get onto that.
Yeah. Before that, one of my first experiences in uni, I remember I could not work out how to find these rooms, bro. I went to a very big university. I could not work out how to find these rooms and these seminar rooms and these lecture rooms. So I got to late to one of them, and I was like, I'm in a proper like huff. Yeah. Sorry, I think I'm supposed to be in here. And I remember the tutor was like, "Are you sure you're supposed to be here?" And I was like, yeah, to get my forms. Yeah. He's like, no. I looked up at him, he's like, no, are you sure you're supposed to be here?
Like that.
And I was like
that.
Yo, is man just, you know when like the hood kind of turns on, but then the hood turns off, off. And I was like, is man violating? So you're like, yo, I should just lay Donnie out. But then you're like, real, I'm in university, Redbrick University, I'm one of the best in the country. What do I do? Humble myself, but at the same time, raw. In fact, I didn't go to a lot of seminars, and maybe that could have been part of the reason. I think maybe he might have put me off, you know. I think that experience really put me off, because seminars are a bit more personal, remember? Yeah. Seminars were more you in a smaller group and you're with a dedicated tutor.
Yeah.
And so like, bro, it was a culture shock. Yeah.